So I'm back, and hopefully you all can see me again. Had technical difficulties. I don't know why. It seems like these providers changed how they do their the lives. So, um, fortunately, I can't get back the time that I lost here. And I don't know if you all have questions. You're still joining me. I appreciate that. You see that the video is all weird. Um, so I can still answer your questions for what it's worth. Can you go to okay, so here's the question from before. Can you go to the B2 visa and say you want to visit your fiance? So question, can you go to a interview for a tourist visa and say you want to visit your fiance? You can, but I will say that they will be very skeptical um, if you are actually going as a tourist, but you're going to see your fiance. They might think that you're going to stay, and they might give you trouble for that. So I'd be very careful with that approach. It is, of course, possible, and you never know what some of these agents are thinking or what they're going to do. So, it's just it's something you can do. But if you really want success, you're going to have to do a fiance visa. If you're there in your relationship, that might be a good approach instead of the tourist visa where they think that you're going to abuse it. So it's kind of a tough call. Um, so yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I am going to post, let's see, way to contact me because this is such a strange recording on Instagram that I want to make sure that you guys have a way to get in touch with me if this video isn't to your liking and you need more guidance or assistance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and post that link here so that you can get that information. Okay, so again, apologize for the weird glitches here, but sometimes it happens. Okay, so okay, so here's a question. This I'm going to look into this because I have not had verification of this. And good evening to you. I appreciate you joining. Am I aware of a visa integrity fee? And if this is still being imposed to tourists from certain countries like the Philippines. So I know that right now, this administration is all about people's history, their honesty, their integrity, and they are charging additional fees that they never charged before to make sure that people are legitimately involved in trying to do the right thing. And really, the I guess the mentality of the government is that there's been so many abuses, they might as well make a little bit of extra money off people just to ensure that they are doing the right thing. So I have heard of this. I haven't had any of my clients have to pay that fee. That's a tourist visa thing. I do a lot of the marriage-based or fiance visas, but it seems like almost every process now has additional fees that weren't there before. It is kind of how this administration is tackling immigration this time around. It's a bit awkward and difficult to deal with, but there it is, right? We adapt and overcome the best we can. So here's a question on Instagram. Is the K1 visa easier to get or a marriage visa? That's a good question. The answer is it depends. Everything comes down to the relationship and how well you show the legitimacy or the strength of that relationship. Okay. For some people who quickly get married, the government sees they're suspicious. They see it's a little bit suspicious and they are a lot more critical. The same could be said about a fiance visa, but honestly, fiance visas are kind of a different type of visa anyway, because you might not know each other as well. Um, but the government kind of expects that, right? So the standards are a lot higher when you're married because you're married. If you're hoping to get married, well, they're not necessarily as strict about that as they are if you're actually married. So hopefully that answers your question. Either one of these processes, I've had lots of success with. As long as you show the right information for the relationship, there's typically not a whole lot of problems, and they can get approved. It just depends on how well you explain that to the government. Okay. Um, okay. So here's a question. Talking about the government shutdown, which may be ending very soon within the next couple days. But the question is, if the government is shut, is this affecting immigration time periods within USCIS? Not strictly speaking, because USCIS is funded by the filing fees that go with the applications. So the government shutdown, USCIS isn't dependent on government financing for their operations, or at least not most of their operations. It does have a little bit of an impact, but not as much as virtually all other areas of the government. So yeah, so it's complicated, but not really. So self-funded through the filing fees is a blessing and a curse. It's a curse for people that have to pay a lot of money in this integrity fee type thing, but at least you know that your process is going to keep moving forward regardless of the government's um, shutdown status. Okay. Okay, so let me go back over to YouTube. Um, So I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Um, and 400 processing times now. Okay. So how am I? I'm good. And how are N400 processing times in 2025? I haven't had any issues. I mean, when I file for my clients, processing times, are a bit quicker than the national average from what immigration posts. I'm seeing citizenship processes go through in 3 or 4 months even. Typically, it's around 10 months, but I have seen it as quickly as 3 months. I had a client that just last week. Did a preparation appointment so that they could be ready for their interview, and it was a 3-month wait. So it was crazy quick. I attribute that to a solid filing and making sure all the right information is there for the government. And I've been doing it like that for years, and I tend to have really good luck in getting things moving quicker. So hopefully that answers your question. More questions, please post. If you're joining Instagram and my camera looks weird, I apologize for that. They changed some protocols, and I don't know why it's different, but I'm going to figure it out for next time. So, but if you're joining me, it doesn't hurt to like and subscribe, and to also post your questions in the comments sections, so that I can get to your questions, get you some good answers. I posted a link to book a time to talk with me, so I can figure out if I can help you with a particular type of process. So that information is on there. Okay. So please don't be shy. If you need assistance, you can use that link. So what other questions do we have? Okay. 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 This is a very good question. And yes, I recognize this individual. You've joined many weeks, and I appreciate that. I did put up a video on my YouTube channel, traveling with DUIs as a green card holder. DUIs without aggravated factors, should it be a problem when re-entering the US? Right now, this administration is crazy strict on things like DUIs. Why? Because they're extremely dangerous and people get killed. So they're really, really strict with them. Um, and that's just one of the things that they've decided to enforce like crazy. That video, as you saw, I was very, very clear to explain what we're seeing now and how darn risky it is for somebody with a green card to leave and return to the United States with certain types of criminal backgrounds. DUIs, multiple DUIs are almost a kiss of death. Um, a single DUI may not be. It depends on how long ago it was. But the government is finding lots of people inadmissible. Inadmissibility means that you violate immigration law and you are not permitted to be admitted to the United States or to get a green card. You're inadmissible. You've got to eliminate that inadmissibility in order to be able to move forward with your green card approval process. Very strict, so be very careful with things like that. You don't want to be a green card holder of sometimes years, leaving and coming back with a certain type of history, or trying to come back and not being able to. It is happening. So in that video that I posted on YouTube, again, like and subscribe, go to my YouTube. I've got 730 videos on there for your viewing pleasure. But as I said in that video, the inadmissibility problem is now the biggest thing that's going on with this administration. And that's what's leading lots of people to be invited to the deportation courts. Had a client contacting me, several decades ago, has been a green card holder for many years, and had an issue and was stopped at the airport and is now being detained to be deported, even though this person has been a green card holder for many years. So it is happening. Past crimes always come back to haunt you, and it's happening a lot right now. So that being said, okay, so here's a good question that I can answer very quickly. So can I say if they are checking for cancer and diabetes and other chronic diseases for immigrant visas? No. For immigration purposes, they look at what's called communicable diseases, or those diseases that you can spread to other people. Those examples are not diseases that are spread to others through contact. Okay, so those sorts of things are issues that's, it is irrelevant to you as a member of society. You don't create harm or difficulty for others because you have medical problems. Okay, it's just the diseases that you can spread. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. So let me go over to Instagram, see if that camera's still a little messed up. My head looks huge in it, but what are you going to do? Let's see here. Okay, so 1 second here. Okay, so some of these questions are more are appropriate for consultations and not for a live. So like when somebody mentions someone else's name, it seems like a very personal situation, and a consultation is more appropriate than a live answer. Okay, and as a matter of fact, you may have already reached out to me, and I might already be helping you with your process. This is for Angela. Okay, So, Angela, I believe that you are a current client, and I will invite you to reach out to us at the office instead of the live here, okay? Um, okay. So I don't have the answer that you really want here. What is the percentage of getting U.S. citizenship while having a DUI on my record? I finished everything, but I am on monthly payments with my fines. I don't have a percentage for you. I will say that um, if you if you are not at risk of losing your green card, you might want to wait until you're actually done with your probation or whatever you're paying the court your fees. It means your process isn't done, and you really aren't going to want to move forward with your naturalization request while you still have an open criminal case. The government usually won't approve it. And in part, it's because they want to make sure that you actually follow through with everything instead of, in the middle of the process. Okay. They want to see if you slip up and therefore you're no longer eligible, you're inadmissible before they're going to give you any kind of decision. So hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Okay. So this is a question. Okay. Um, so Fruit Decoration Company, you applied for military parole place. You checked to see how your process was going today. They said 2 weeks for my third and final step. What does that mean? I've never heard them refer to it that way, but it sounds like internally they probably have to run it past a supervisor before they make a final decision. Military parole in place processes and approvals are at the local level. So, local meaning in the state. So, it's not sent to some other processing center across the country, it's handled within your state. So, different levels of bureaucracy. And I imagine that's what's going on is that they're waiting for a supervisor to actually review and approve the request. So that's my guess. Never heard them say it like that, but I would suspect that that's probably what they mean by that. Um, okay. So I got a question about how long it's taking to process in the California Service Center. I don't have that information. I'd have to look it up, and I certainly don't have time to look it up right now. So I'm not going to be able to help you with that. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, Angela. Okay, I get. I thought Angela that we talked to you before. So so yes, I see. Well, let me look here again at your question. Um, well, Angela, I'll say, reach out to us. I mean, if we, and I see you here responding to me, you get it. You get what I'm saying. And yes, I do remember speaking with you. So just reach out to the office, okay? Um, okay, so here's a question. Well, let me go to Instagram really quick. Okay, here's a question. Removal of conditions process and biometrics requested again. Is it risky? Can I get detained if I have a speeding ticket from the past? Okay, so you're in the removal of conditions process and your biometrics was requested again. So they want you to come back again for biometrics. Is it risky? And can I get detained if I have a speeding ticket? Speeding ticket, no. A speeding ticket's not going to stop you. It is a little strange that they're doing that. Um, I don't know why they would do multiple biometrics unless they suspect that there's more to the story. But a speeding ticket is not going to stop you from being able to move forward and get approved. So I wouldn't worry about attending that biometrics. If you got other stuff in your past, my answer could be very different. So if you have additional information that you don't want to put on the live here, I'm going to post the link to reach out to me so we can talk, because I suspect there might be something more going on here. Okay, so reach out to me. This is Cover a Freddy. So if you wanted to reach out to me, I could potentially help you a bit more. Okay. Okay, my friend from Egypt. Hello again. Thank you for joining. Yes, sir. My friend is still in Egypt. He's in Upper Egypt right now. He's still there, loving it, doing skydiving, feluccas, and you name it. So thank you very much for joining us every week. Again, everyone, like and subscribe. That's how I stay relevant and how I know that people actually value what I'm putting out here. So thank you for joining. Like and subscribe all day long, okay? Okay, got a friend joining from British Columbia, Canada. So thank you for joining us, and good evening to you too. And if I can help you with any questions, go ahead and post it. I got about a minute left. But okay, and I want to say, yes, Sarah, there you are. Put you up on the screen. So, again, be careful out there, you guys. Don't do it yourself. Don't file your own things, whether you think it's super easy or not. It's definitely not. And it's definitely not the time to risk something catastrophic happening to your process, which is why I'm here every week. Okay. So if you need help, reach out to me by using the link that I posted. It's not worth doing stuff and getting denied and getting detained and arrested and all that sort of stuff. So please be safe and do the right thing, do the smart thing. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me see here. One quick question. Can I elaborate about rehabilitation? We talked about the DUIs, but never about that. So, what do you mean by that? Rehab, like you have to go to rehab because of past um, drug or alcohol abuse. Just the fact that you go to rehab isn't enough to make you inadmissible. If it was court ordered because of some moving violation, then that's a different story. Okay, so if you got a DUI and you had to go to rehab, the DUI is the thing that you need to worry about. But if you just check yourself into rehab because you know you got a problem, that's not a concern for inadmissibility because it's private and the government doesn't know it unless you get arrested. So that's not something that you need to really worry about. Okay. But again, with that, I'm a couple minutes over. Next week, I will fix this Instagram problem because it's really irritating seeing my huge face instead of context of what's behind me. So I apologize for that. And for anyone that I didn't get to, I apologize. Next week, make sure that you join in again with your questions. I will be here next week. For any of you veterans out there, happy Veterans Day to you. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you next week at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard or Detroit time for another Immigration Live with Lee. Remember, stay informed, stay safe, and never give up on your immigration dream.